In this recording, I want to share with you how our course grew to the powerhouse that it is today. It's more accurate and more powerful than it was before. We're using many of the same indicators, and we'll share that with you as we go through this video. Right here, this is a 1 hour time frame. Many times when we first started, we were trading with one time frame, and we quickly realized that we needed to go to a couple of different time frames to really get the benefit of the momentum. So right in here where these two vertical lines are, you probably wouldn't have been taking any trades on this 1 hour chart. Let's go to the 15-minute. This is where the marks were placed based on the 15-minute. Right here, possible setup for a trade. And here, getting ready for a possible trade. So this one had a potential of maybe 40 pips. This one had a potential of maybe 30 pips. On the 1 hour, you wouldn't have traded any of those, so there's 70 pips you may have lost out on. Now we're going to go to the 5-minute on each of these and the 1 minute. 5-minute, had to wait 5 minutes before that one was really ready according to these indicators, and there's a good 40 pips on that one. You would have had to catch this one quickly. This one you would have had to wait a while until it got over in here where the signals came, and there was maybe not 30 pips, but here it's showing a good possible 25 pips. We're seeing this on the 5-minute, and now let's go to this 1 minute. In the 1 minute, it wasn't ready right there, but it became ready better right over in here where it started becoming really good. Potential is 40, but you figure a good 35 pips. Now let's go to this other trade. And right here, the 15 says heads up, 5 minutes says possibly. So we go to the 1 minute. The 1 minute says not quite yet. It's not ready. If you know how to read the indicators, then you know that that's not the place you should be trading. So now let's go to the 5-minute and wait until it sets up properly. Right here, it sets up properly. And you can see these developing. So don't think just because we're seeing it in the past that you can't trade it. You can see these things develop as they're happening. This is for the 5-minute, but the 1 minute wasn't quite ready until we get at least there or over here. So someplace in there, the 1 minute said it was good, and then here's a good 28, 30 pips that you could have taken out on this particular trade. Now what we're going to do is go and show you what the 1551 course looks like. We've just added to what you're seeing here, but it actually made it simpler. We're just going back and look at this 1 hour chart. So right in here, you probably wouldn't have taken any trades on this 1 hour chart. It still doesn't look good even on our new way of trading. 15-minute, that mark says yes, heads up. Yes, heads up. Now we're going to go to the first one on the 5-minute, and this one said again we need to wait 5 minutes on that one and gave you a good signal. And then on the 1 minute, this one was ready right there, one of these 3 bars. So worst case scenario could have been right in there where you had received a signal for a good 30 pips if you'd taken the bulk of that, or if you'd stayed in it, there's a 40. But let's say 30 pips on that one. Now let's go back to the 5-minute and look at this one. Now this is not ready even on the 5 minutes. It's questionable. And if you know the course, you'd understand why that's questionable. But you wait for the proper setup. That's starting to become the proper setup and says, hey, go look at the 1 minute to time the entry. And the 1 minute says, well, I got to wait a little bit longer. I want it to be down in here. So if you'd taken that trade, it went a little in your favor, a little bit against you, and then it took off and gave you the good solid 25 pips on that trade. So what we're showing is the power that will bring these trades to your attention when they're taking place. Not just because we're looking at it in hindsight. You can tell when that changed colors. You can tell when it's crossed below these 0 lines. And that's the basics of what we're looking at, is using multiple time frames, timing the trades, taking advantage of many more pips than you would have had otherwise. And so we figured initially we thought maybe 70 pips, but probably a good solid 55 to 60 pips out of these trades. Otherwise, if you're trading the 1 hour or larger time frames, you would have missed all of that. You don't have to necessarily be in front of your computer all the time. There are signals that would bring these to your attention. Watch the emails for the next few days. We're going to give you gradually more information about the course material and how it works, so you have a good idea as to what it's all about. And be sure to attend the PIP Club. Register for your trial for the PIP Club, and you can see the system in action.